So here we got the RS3. So our son unfortunately had to run, but I got this munchkin here who's gonna help me get this video hopefully done. So you ready for this? Before we get started with the JB4 install, I'm gonna run on over to Brooke's car. We got something that I gotta do to it real quick. I'll fill you guys in once we get inside the car. I was having a conversation a few days ago with a friend of mine that works for Cobb Tuning. So I told him we have a 2024 Audi SQ5 now. First thing we wanna make sure is that this ECU is not encrypted or locked. A lot of the 2024 model year Audis now have locked ECUs, which is why tuning the 8Y RS3 has been such a challenge up until now. I mean, Unitronic has been developing this thing now for, I want to say, years at this point, and I know it was just recently released, but just want to give you guys an understanding as to the why. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead first. They sent me this access port, so I want to go ahead and I want to make sure that we can read this ECU, and if we can, that means that I'm able to pull a diagnostic file or a ROM file from this ECU, send it over to them so that then they can actually define the ECU so that they can start supporting the 2024 Audi SQ5, and my wife gets to have a faster car, but that's for a future video. But let's go in here real quick and let's see if we can pull this ROM. So unlike the JB4, the access port allows us to read and write to the factory computer. Yes, Cobb also does have stage maps that you can get off the shelf, kind of similar to how APR, Unitronic, and those guys work. But because we've been Cobb Pro tuners for years now, we do have software to be able to do our own custom tuning to the factory ECU here. So here's the access port. First thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna peel this nice looking tape out of this here. So I hope it works because I can't return this now. And then what we gotta do is we gotta fire this car up and pray that we can actually access this ECU. So we'll give it a minute, wait for this thing to load up. Uh-oh, I'm not seeing anything. Oh, there it is. Whew, got worried. Even though that does not mean that we're in the clear just yet. All right, so we're gonna press OK. So as you can see, we wanna install access port to vehicle. All right, my anxiety can't take it anymore. Are we gonna be able to tune this thing or not? Cannot communicate with vehicle. Oh boy, that's a problem. Shut this off, try one more time. Please work. Oh no. This is probably not going to work. All right, so I just unplugged it and plugged it back in. Not sure if that's going to do anything, but we shall see. All right, so we are in luck. It looks like it just wasn't plugged in all the way, but as you guys can see, it says that the vehicle is not currently supported by this access port. But what we're going to do now is we're going to store this ECU ID and data, and we're gonna send it on over to Cobb. So it looks like we are in the clear. So one of the things that I really wanna do is I wanna start using this platform to also perhaps provide some level of education for those of you guys that maybe aren't as knowledgeable. I wanna talk a little bit about the different ways that you can tune a car. There's a couple different options out there. Unfortunately for the 8Y RS3, right now, as it stands, the options are fairly limited. So the three different ways that you can do this right now is you could order a Unitronic flash. It comes with a software that allows you to enter the factory ECU, rewrite the factory parameters and calibration to a custom file that's provided by Unitronic, which alters basically your ignition timing, your boost levels, fueling, and a whole bunch of other things that control your engine to get the most optimum power out of your engine. The challenge with a system like Unitronic is that it is literally locked. You cannot alter that file in any way. So basically you pay for the tune, you flash the car, and what you see is what you get. And again, it is super common. There are cars out there that are running ridiculously fast on what I guess I would consider their off-the-shelf calibration. The other method of tuning is ultimately, for these cars, would be with a standalone. So a standalone's a little different. So with a standalone, you literally take your factory engine control module out of the car. You put a standalone system, totally new ECU in the vehicle that's made by an aftermarket company. So for example, for the 8Y RS3, Syvex makes a plug-and-play system. Plugs into your factory wires and sensors just like your factory ECU, but now you have full control of your engine. I think that's ultimately what we're gonna do in the long run with our vehicle. For now, we're gonna choose a common method of also tuning these cars, which is a piggyback method. When I first started tuning 18, 19 plus years ago, piggybacks were really common because there weren't a lot of companies out there producing systems that would allow you to flash, a car. Greddy made a system back in the day called the Greddy E-Manage. Apexi made a system called the AFC controller, which essentially hijacked your mass airflow sensor to essentially alter fueling in a vehicle. They did the trick back then. And look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I still think a flash method, such as Unitronic, if you were someone that has zero knowledge on engine tuning and just wanted literally something that was just plug and play, like you flash and you're good to go, I think that's the way to go for these cars. For someone like me, like I mentioned, I still want to try out different settings and different things at the track. I want to try a variation of different parts. And while I'm going to be very, very limited with the JB4, I still think for what I'm looking for, I think I'm going to get the best bang for the buck. So we're going to go with the JB4 for now. From the JB4, we're going to graduate to the Syvex. But anyway, I've said enough here. Hopefully, like this little bit of knowledge helps some of you guys. We're going to head on over to our very expensive workbench. Why are you laughing, Ava? So we're going to get all over here, and I want to show you kind of the different components that the JB4 comes with. So we opted for the Bluetooth module. What this is going to allow us to do is essentially log and make any changes to the calibration via our mobile device. So this is the JB4 module. As you can see, there's sensors or plugs or connectors that come out. As you can see, there's going to be a male and a female to each connector. So what I meant by hijacking sensors, this literally gives you a visual of what that looks like, right? Because essentially when you unplug the factory sensor, right, you're going to plug this into the sensor end, and then you're going to take the factory harness and you're going to plug it in here. Like looking at some of these connectors just takes me back. One thing that I will say about this is that they do not give you a way of mounting this control box. What we need to do now is we need to separate this, just how you see it like that. We recording, Ava?
Yeah.
And then as you can see here, this is where we're going to go in, and we are going to plug the little Bluetooth module. All right, so then we're going to take this tiny screw driver and we're going to screw this in, and then we're going to sit this back in here. Now as you guys can see, there is a rubber gasket that runs around here, and then there's also a rubber gasket here. Now some people were complaining of water intrusion. I don't think it was on the RS3 though, but just be aware of that you're going to want to make sure when you put this in here that it's literally around that little loop, or you will get water intrusion. The Bluetooth module is now attached to the control module. Yep, just hold it as straight as possible on there. We're giving some lessons here today. Yep, you're good. Here, you just grab it right here, and then you just hold it straight and spin it. To get the airbox off, what you're going to do is you're going to see there's some torque spits here. As you guys saw, Ava was trying to get this one out of here, but anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to spin these off here. So you guys can see with that out of the way now, I can kind of get my hands under here a little better. We did end up taking this piece off here. It's super, super easy, 2 T30 bolts. Eventually, you know what, I guess right now would have been a great time to do an air intake, but it is what it is. And while we're at it, I don't know what this is. It looks like sand, maybe from shipping, who knows, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna clean this all up here as well. I wanna say that right behind that little area, and you'll see once I start pulling it out, that there is a grommet of some sort. So just be careful when you pull this out, don't rip it. It's glued down. All you got to do is just get in there a little bit deeper and try not to break that. And there's that rubber grommet I was talking about. The end of this wire, we're going to try to fish it through that hole. Hopefully I can record it. If not, I'll come back and show you guys. Literally, I'm just going to hold the end of it and push it right through. So we're going to fish this wire through.
I see the wire.
You see the wire?
Yeah.
Pull. All right, stop. So now that the wire's pulled through, we need to be able to plug it into this OBD2 area. So what we're gonna do is, we're just gonna fish the wires kind of like underneath this carpet and such to cleanly bring that wire as close as possible to that OBD2. So I'm gonna go ahead, do that off camera, and then I'll come back on camera to show you guys what we did. And as you guys can see, we got the wire running through here. We got this piece back on, looks clean. Next step is you wanna find your boost sensor on the 8Y RS3 is to the left of the airbox. So what you're gonna do is, again, you're gonna, like I mentioned earlier, you're literally going to find the male and female and you're just gonna make that connection. So, you know, as I described earlier, what you're doing is you're interrupting the signal going to the actual sensor from the engine management system. And this is gonna allow the JB4 to basically control boost. We have the BCM module or boost control module plugged in. What we're gonna do is we are going to now access this sensor here. Is this not the right one? Oh yeah, there we go. So we're gonna plug this side in here and we're gonna lock it. And then we're gonna do the same thing now on this one here. And then the last one we're gonna access is down here. You see there's a 3-wire. So one is a map sensor. I think this one is a throttle input sensor, tip sensor, I don't know. Maybe temp sensor. All right, so we're gonna go in this one now and we're gonna plug in the remaining wires. All right, so as you guys can see, I went ahead, I fished all the wires underneath. Use your own discretion. I put a couple zip ties down on the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see it here, but anyway, I'm running my wires cleanly coming right up here because I'm thinking I'm gonna mount this box either up here or it's gonna sit up here, but we'll figure that out once I get the rest of the airbox in. Put this piece of the airbox, it just snaps in. Literally, it just falls right into place, nothing crazy. We're gonna take our air filter, put it back in.
I'll definitely be doing some work when I get my first car.
What kind of car do you wanna get? Do you know yet?
Probably like a Tesla.
A Tesla?
Because like, we've already got the Charger too. And like, they're pretty easy to like drive, I guess.
Well, you know what? I gotta tell you, I think Teslas are great cars. They are great daily drivers.
Yeah.
They're reliable, cheap to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
Quite honestly, I wish we still had ours kicking around.
Like a white Model 3.
You want a white Model 3? Performance or non-performance?
I don't know. What's the difference?
You want a fast one like I had or a slow one?
Probably a slow one because I'm new to driving. I'll be new to driving, so.
I'll try to put this here, guys, and see if it works. I gotta flip this around. Wait. All right, guys, and last but not least, at least under the hood, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take this ground. We're gonna detach this or loosen up this 10 millimeter nut right here, right where you see all the factory grounds, and we're gonna put this one in here, so. All right, so as you guys can see, what we did was I zip tied the JB4 back here. Just wanted to get it out of the way. If I had an intake, I would probably mount it just right next to the factory ECU, but once we get to installing an intake, we will do that. Everything is all tightened. I'm just gonna go ahead and secure the airbox. So with the engine bay now put back together, we're gonna go inside and we're gonna go ahead and we're going to work on that OBD2 wire. So I'm thinking what we're gonna do here, guys, is we're going to just run it down here, right behind this panel, and we're just gonna plug it in. The only thing we have left to do now is download the JB4 tuner app, and I'll give you guys a quick walkthrough. Almost got a little nervous. Car wouldn't start. I had no power. Then I remember that I had the battery disconnected. So anyway, we're in the car. Before we download the app, let's just fire this thing up. Make sure we are running without any check engine lights. So far, so good, guys. No check engine lights. Everything seems to be pretty good. We're now connecting, we're scanning. There we go. We have all the gauges here. Air, fuel, ignition timing. We have boost, RPM. We can also reconfigure these, and I'll show you guys how to work these in a few here. But anyway, let's go to the maps. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead. We are going to flash this with the 3 PSI map. It's 493 octane. It looks like we also have a couple other options. We got a 4 PSI, which is 93 and E30. And then we have an E30 map as well, meaning 30% ethanol. Looks like there's also a 6 PSI E30 map. We're gonna be playing around with that. Please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you're doing so, because we are going to go ahead and do a follow-up video. We're gonna be installing a Unitronic intercooler into our vehicle that has been sitting in the garage now for quite some time. We plan on also going to the track, so we plan on running the car with the factory mapping with the intercooler to see what the differences are in terms of quarter-mile times just with the intercooler alone. Then obviously at the track, we're gonna go ahead and play around with some of these different map options, show you guys how quick the car actually responds or how the car responds to those different maps. And then last but not least, one of the cool things about the JB4 is you can go to an advanced parameter in here, and we can literally go to a user adjustment, and we can actually create our own map 6. So it's not quite as sophisticated, or I should say as good as obviously being able to access the ECU itself, but hey, you know what, you're able to change different percentages to adjust boost, fueling, and other settings as well in the vehicle. All right, what should we do, a second gear pull here, or third?
Yeah, second.
Do second? Let's see.
Real quick.
Holy crap, dude, this thing is definitely way quicker. And that's just map, what was it, map 2, right?
Map 3.
Oh, we're on map 3, yeah, that's right. Dude, this feels so freaking good. Let's see. No, we're actually on map 2. 3 PSI.
Map 2.
Yeah, 3 PSI map.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, can you feel the difference?
Yeah, I definitely can.
I gotta tell you, for the money, and it's definitely worth it, you know. Even though we don't care about warranty, one of the advantages also of the JB4 is that because you're not flashing the ECU, as long as you take your time and you do a clean install, it's not detected. So not that we plan on taking this car in for warranty. Unfortunately, I have relatives that work for Audi, so they know what I'm doing to my car. But hey, I'm just putting that out there for you guys. But drivability, the car feels normal. It's just under boost. It just feels awesome. Dude, it definitely, you can feel it. The car definitely pulls a lot harder now.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Ready? You should be recording the
dash?
Yeah. Holy crap, dude. We're gonna go from 60, ready?
Go.
Holy crap, it feels so good. All right, let's see how much boost we're making on map 2. All right, guys, sorry for the long video. There was just a lot that I wanted to share with you guys. Again, please consider subscribing. We're gonna do a follow-up to this video. We're gonna test this thing at the track.